Hey Techno Studs, there's a protocol that we haven't talked a lot about up until now, and it's called Simple Network Management Protocol. We will be getting a little bit deeper into it in a future video. But essentially, SNMP, or Simple Network Management Protocol, is a protocol that allows a server to talk back and forth between devices and do a couple different things. Number one, it can actually control certain behavior on those devices and be able to pull in logs and information from those devices, or we can set up our devices to send data to the SNMP server. What we're going to do in this video is set up our wireless LAN controller to be able to send SNMP messages to a SNMP server. So let's take a look at how we would go about doing that. The setup for this is actually pretty simple. And what we're gonna do is we would click on this management tab right here. And on the left-hand side, we can see that there's this SNMP area. We're going to open up the SNMP area here. We have several selections through here, and this is depending on how we want to set up SNMP to either receive or grab this data. What we're going to actually do is set up a trap receiver. And this SNMP trap receiver means that there's traps or different information that we're going to capture and send it to the SNMP server. So that's what we have right here is SNMP trap receiver. So we're going to create new here. We got to create a community name, and I'm just going to call this SNMP1 for the community name. And then the IP address, and this is where we would put an IP address into this field of the server that we want to send this to. I just used the example here of 10.1.20.45, and this would be something that's on our server network that's capturing this data, or perhaps we'd want this on our management network. But since we have a whole network devoted towards being for servers, we're going to just say our SNMP servers on that network. And then we'll enable this, and then we'll hit apply. IPsec is if we want to secure the transfer of this. I'm just going to hit apply for here, and then we would actually have this configured. So that is how you set up an SNMP server, or this is not a server, this is sending data to the server so the server then can collect this data. And then we would have one single point in which we could go and see all the logs of our devices. This is really helpful for trying to see certain information of what's happening on these different devices, and perhaps as an example, is maybe our network is trying to be hacked, and then we'll be able to pull up the server and look at all of these logs that are coming into the server of the different devices and see what's happening on all of our devices at the same time, rather than going to each individual device and taking a look at the logs of each individual device. So there you have it. That's how we would set this up, and how we would configure an SNMP server or send this off to an SNMP server.